Taoiseach, the United Nations at Rio in 1992, among other things, developed a set of principles called the Forest Principles, which were the principles to do with how important forestry was for combating climate change, biodiversity destruction, and indeed you and others at the UN convened COP, and you said they were at an environmental session in New York, discussed the climate. Now, forestry is absolutely key in this, as has been said on a number of occasions. And last week I raised with you the issue of the public forestry company, Oireachtas, selling off 39 acres of forestry, public amenity area in Enniskerry with Bronze Age stone pits in it, with a right-of-way through the Dublin Mountain Way, important geological landscapes there and so on, and you quite insultingly, frankly, tried to cast aspersions on the veracity of what I said, but then you said you'd look into it. Now, first of all, I just want to say that what I showed you was an advertisement on a estate agent's website advertising the sale of this land for €250,000, extraordinary price, but the public forest body selling off public amenity forest in the context of COP26, protecting biodiversity, the forest principles of the United Nations and so on. And they subsequently confirmed to me in a letter that indeed the sale was going ahead, and I went up to the forest and there were for sale signs all over the place. Now, I'm glad to say that this morning I got a call from Oireachtas saying they decided, although the sale was in an advanced stage, to abandon it. And that's a victory. But they've also then subsequently sort of suggested that we weren't really going to sell it, even though there were for sale signs everywhere, and it was advertised, as of this morning, on a website of an estate agent. And the point I want to ask is, why was it that members of the public, or indeed members of the opposition, had to point the government to the fact that the State Forestry Company was selling off a public amenity forest, and that there was no proper oversight of that? And have you looked into the matter? And do you think you need a role in greater oversight of the sale of public forest land by the State Forestry Company?
In terms of Deputy Boyd Barrett's points, again, because I was in COP and so on, I hadn't had the opportunity to have an in-depth conversation with Quilta. I'm not in favour of the sale of forests at all. There can be local circumstances. From time to time, some sports clubs look for a bit of facilitation, or national bodies. But overall, I'm not going to say, in fact, I want to grow more trees, and we need to grow more trees, native species in particular. The Minister concerned with overall authority in respect to that, the Minister of Agriculture, and we will seek a meeting with the Minister and Quilta to get their up-to-date position in terms of their broader policies. But basically, I see Quilta, I see Bord na Móna, that their role is to fulfil the climate change agenda of government, and that's it. Deputy